This video covers the CITI training requirements and process for investigators, faculty sponsors, and study team members engaging in social, behavioral, and education research activities. If you plan to engage in biomedical research activities, please refer to our video on CITI training for biomedical research. All UCLA key personnel, including the PI, co-investigators, faculty sponsors, research assistants, coordinators, and others engaging in human subjects research activities must have a current and complete UCLA Human Subjects Research certification or Good Clinical Practice GCP certification via CITI program prior to inclusion in the research. Training must be complete prior to submission of the IRB application. You may start and stop training at any time, and it may take a few hours to complete the training, including quizzes, so take that into consideration when planning your IRB submissions. We will go over in more detail the process for creating a CITI account, selecting courses based on your research, and how to access help. To get started, visit the CITI website at www.citiprogram.org. If you have previously created a CITI account at another institution, you can log in and affiliate yourself with UCLA, or you can create a new account. Information about affiliating your existing CITI account with UCLA can be found in the description box below this video. To create a new account, select Register, then select your organization affiliation, and search for UCLA. You must agree to the terms and certify that you are affiliated with UCLA before logging in with your UCLA single sign-on information. Upon logging in, you will have access to your courses. If this is your first time completing courses affiliated with UCLA, you will need to add courses to get started. To do that, you will need to scroll down to the bottom of your course's homepage to add a course. If you simply plan to engage in qualitative research activities, such as, but not limited to, surveys, interviews, fieldwork, observations, benign behavioral interventions, or any non-HIPAA covered research activities, you will need to select the first box only in Section 1. If at any time you think you might have made the incorrect selections, you can select Start Over. Otherwise, select Next. If you want to take your course in English, select No in Section 2. The next part of this section asks whether you will be working with HIPAA-covered records or protected health information, PHI. Since this training is geared towards social and behavioral research, we will assume the answer is no for most of you. However, for those who will be working with PHI, make one of the other selections above that best suits your situation. The next question asks whether you will complete Good Clinical Practice GCP training. For most of you, the answer will be no, unless you plan to conduct a clinical trial that meets the NIH's definition. If your research activities meet the NIH definition of a clinical trial, meaning you can answer yes to all 4 of these questions, then your response to this question in CITI should be yes to the second option, that you will be conducting a social and behavioral clinical trial that meets the NIH clinical trial definition. The next question asks about whether the study is FDA regulated. Most social and behavioral research does not involve the use of any FDA-regulated drugs, devices, and products. Therefore, the answer to this question should be no. Lastly, you will be asked to verify that you will be completing the Human Subjects Training course, which should be the case if you are not completing GCP training. However, if you previously determined that you will need to complete the Good Clinical Practice GCP training, you should indicate yes, you will be completing the GCP training and not the Human Subjects Training course. Again, this is only for studies meeting NIH's clinical trial definition and you previously indicated that you will complete the GCP training. After selecting Next, you will be taken back to your courses page where your assigned human subjects training course will appear. For most of you who will be taking the human subjects training course, you should see a list of 83 possible modules within the course. Select any 8 modules. There are no set list of modules you must complete. However, OHRPP recommends taking a mix of the history and purpose of the IRB and a few modules related to research activities that you will engage in. For example, if you plan to conduct internet research, we suggest including a module on that topic as one of the 8 modules you will complete. After you complete all 8 of your selected modules and their accompanying quizzes or GCP training, you will be able to access your course certificate under the Records tab on your homepage. The training completion certificates may be requested by your sponsor or other entities. The IRB will not ask for your certificates because your CITI training records will automatically sync with your Bruin IRB account. If you need to access your CITI account after the first time, you can log in through your institution. Search for UCLA, then agree to the terms and log in through your UCLA single sign-on credentials. Finally, here are a few important notes about CITI training. Training is valid for 3 years from the date of completion. If you plan to be actively engaged in research after that time, you will need to complete the refresher course for either the human subjects training or GCP training. If completed the UCLA research HIPAA training, that is a one-time training that does not expire. CITI training will automatically sync with Bruin IRB within 24 hours. Bruin IRB pulls CITI training information overnight. Therefore, the day that someone completes their training, it will not appear as completed in Bruin IRB until the following day. Incomplete, incorrect, or expired CITI training will prevent the application submissions. If you attempt to submit your new IRB application, Bruin IRB will issue a notice that the application cannot be submitted until you complete your training. Additionally, incomplete, incorrect, or expired CITI training will prevent the addition of individuals being added to studies. If you attempt to add someone to your study in Bruin IRB, you will be prevented from completing that addition until individuals complete their CITI training. It is important that you plan accordingly to allow time for completed training to sync with Bruin IRB and to effectively communicate with others who will be added to your study about completing training in a timely manner. Visit the CITI training page on the OHRPP website for more information. Refer to the description box for the link to this page, which includes more details about training requirements, frequently asked questions, and troubleshooting information. Please visit the OHRPP website at www.ohrpp.research.ucla.edu to access resources on this topic and other resources on human subjects research. Thank you for watching.